What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about Fresh and Fit versus Asian Doll, and then also the clips and audio that had been circulating following the Fresh and Fit and Asian Doll scenario. Now, before I get into that, I just want to say, if anybody want to see any type of change of anything that's going on out here that you deem to be negative, do something about it. Not just talking about it, but do something about it. Because I wasn't even going to speak on this video, but then Fresh and Fit made a video addressing the clips related to what he said about Black women. And then in that video, I noticed that not only were there women back on the show co-signing for them, they even gained 1,000 more subs from it. So to me, it looks like no matter what we say or do, the show is still going to go on. And we got to start taking personal responsibility and stop having selective accountability out here. Because when it comes to selective accountability, cliques, friends, foes, enemies, and personal responsibility, safety, and respect, it all boils down to what we allow ourselves to put our energies into. As it relates to the public influential growth, we are the problem. And I'm speaking as a collective. Because at the end of the day, all you got is self. Nobody care about you but you. Nobody's responsible for us and nobody's going to save us. In order to get respect, you got to respect yourself. And I say that to say we got to stop laughing and partying with people that we call the enemy. And then when the target is on our back, we try to make a stand. Protect yourself by not showing up in the first place, not showing up to the battlefield. And if we stop participating in stuff we don't agree with, we won't set ourselves up for being disrespected. Because all of this imagery about Black women has been going on far too long for people to not know that the following and the participation is the reason behind a lot of these people's success. And judging just by what I heard from the clips and the audio that resurfaced after the altercation with these two, if you're not wanted there as a Black woman, stop going there. Stop going to places you're not wanted and then say you're not being protected at the place where they said they didn't want you at. Now we got two different situations going on here, and I'm going to speak about both of them separately. Fresh and Fit podcast host Myron is under fire after getting disrespectful with his female guest rapper Asian Doll during the recent taping. In a clip circulating around social media, Gaines gets visually upset and attempts to scold Asian Doll and her friends for having side conversations during the podcast. And this prompted me to go actually watch the video. So I went ahead and watched the video. The video is right here. It is a 2-hour and 19 long video, but it starts around an hour and 59 minutes, right at the 2-hour mark, where Asian Doll comes in. And I'm not going to play too much of this clip because I know everybody has been talking about the copyright issue and people's channels getting taken down and whatnot. And, I've done a few videos of Fresh and Fit, and Fresh and Fit are not some of my favorite people to watch, as many other channels are not some of my favorite channels to watch, but I give people the benefit of the doubt, depending on the situation. While a lot of other people, they kind of just choose sides depending on who they like, whether the situation is right or wrong. And so as this situation has been talked about, there has been other situations that has arose from this situation that also has been discussed. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this one first. So you have Asian Doll. She comes on the set. She is a rapper for people who don't know who she is. So Asian Doll comes on the podcast, and I'm just going to sum it all up and make this real quick. And then we're going to get to the other situation that people are really focusing on. But Asian Doll comes on the set. A lot of women knew who she was. So a lot of people held a lot of respect for her and wanted to talk to her and have side conversations with her during the podcast. Now, Myron and Fresh, they were asking certain questions on the podcast about what kind of men do they like, what kind of men do they prefer. And Myron specifically said, let's go around the table and get an answer one by one from all the ladies on what their answer is. And actually, Fresh is the one that held more of a conversation with these ladies than Myron did. Myron actually kind of sat back and was not really interested in a lot of the conversation that they was having. But the time he did engage in it, he said a few things. I don't want to play too much of this content because of the, copyright strikes that's been going on, all the stuff that's been said about Fresh and Fit trying to take people's channels down. But Let me go ahead and lead up to the plot and then let you hear a little bit real quick. But you have this girl, she was answering her question. Then you have this girl right here. She was co-signing what she said. And so Myron came in and wanted to know her specific answer, but she said it's what she said. And he was like, did you even know what she said? And she said, no, I don't know what she said. And so at that time, when she got done talking, Myron said, look, I don't mean to be rude, but you guys are senseless. And when he said that, Asian doll laughed at what he said. Basically, the laugh was basically agreeing with him. And then after that, he wanted to go ahead and get the other girl's answer next to her. But these two kept on talking, and he kind of said, look, no sidebar conversations. Give everybody a chance to answer the question. You know, you guys been doing that all night. So let me go ahead and just let you see this little part right here.
And it could have $1 million in the bid. You would never know.
I agree because it's real hard.
That's why don't ever trust me.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but both you guys are senseless. Like,
I could be senseless, but I am very, very, very.
So you see where he said, I don't mean to be rude, but both of you guys are senseless. And Asian doll laughed at him calling the other two women senseless.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but both you guys are senseless. Like,
I could be senseless, but I am very, very, very. I think that you just said. Thank you.
She contradicted herself.
Okay. Depends. What you got to say? Say it to my face.
Do you even know what she said?
Not really. No.
Stupid. Okay.
Fucked up.
Are you even on this podcast right now?
No, it's 1:23 a.m., girl. It's a school night.
Okay.
What is it?
All right.
That's Florida,
baby. Go ahead, fresh. And we got the calculator up, by the way, as well.
Yep, so we can do chats and then calculator.
All right. No, it's her turn to go. Guys, sidebar conversations, please.
All right.
All right. So Myron says it's her turn. The one in the tan shirt. He said it's your turn. And then he said, guys, sidebar conversation, because they were still talking when it was her turn to answer the question.
Guys, sidebar conversations, please.
All right.
I've told you, this is like, this is like the 5th time I've told you that, right?
6 time.
Like, stop. For real, like, stop.
He means
Like, you haven't been here.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Yeah, it's the whole show.
Yeah, she's been doing it the whole show. I'm not mean as fuck. I just have rules. Simple.
All right, go ahead. It's a podcast.
Damn. What I look for in a man in love, that's like approaching me.
Hold on.
So as old girl was answering her question, Asian doll was like, dang, you a mean A something. And then he said, skirt, hold on. And then that's when it went left. Now, if you think about it, this whole show was 2 hours and some change long. So he tried to explain to Asian doll that, I'm not mean as if these women have been having sidebar conversations the whole time, and I've been trying to tell them over and over and over again to stop doing that. She came late in the show. She came right at the 2 hour mark. So she was only there for 15 minutes of the show. So he wasn't necessarily talking to Asian doll when he said stop the sidebar conversation. I think he was talking to the other women. And I think that she thought that he was directing it at her because the lady beside her was talking to her. Now look how many seconds he waited until he said, hold on. And I guess this is where everybody said he was getting his feelings because he could have just let it slide and let it go.
Excuse me?
You mean?
I'm not mean at all.
Okay, I don't care.
Have you been here the whole time?
No.
All right then, so you don't know what was happening, right?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay then. So how you gonna come on somebody's show, not know what go down, and say, oh, you're mean?
It don't matter. I can say what I want.
Okay, well, you can get the fuck off the show too.
I don't give a
Man,
Get off the show
chill,
too.
man. Chill out, bro.
Nah, you can go.
Chill.
You're
She ain't
not
gotta
gonna come on the platform.
Nah, chill, bro. She ain't gotta go nowhere.
No, she
Chill,
could go.
chill, bro.
I don't have to.
Chill.
Come on, baby. We don't have to be this mean. We can all be. Come on.
Chill out, bro.
Let's calm
I'm
down.
sorry. He's hot. I'm calm.
No, I'm very calm, but it's like, bro, you gotta show a little bit of respect on the platform.
It's cool, bro.
Chill. I say you mean. It is what it is. What the fuck you want me to say?
That's not the truth,
Me,
though.
you mad about saying me? You grown as hell.
Well,
Yeah, well.
Okay. So earlier on the show, it was going back and forth. So he was just telling her to chill because it was like 5 times before it's like chill. So that's why.
Okay, but I said he mean. Why he wanna stop the shit?
Well,
Do some dramatic.
because you don't know what was going on.
we are
I don't
hosting the show.
know.
It's good though, bro.
Why
Hey,
would
yo.
that piss you off?
Chill, bro. All right. We all right. We good.
You want a
I mean,
moment? Get a slow
We
down.
good. Let's keep going, bro. We all right.
So a lot of people looked at this different ways. They looked at it as, okay, this Asian doll, you gotta respect that, you messing up the show, just let it slide or whatever. A lot of other people is looking at it like, he don't care who it is on the show, respect the show, whether you think it's mean or not, just respect the rules of the show and just let it be that. And so it could have went so many ways, but this is how this situation went about. And really, I don't see anything that went out of hand beforehand because everything was going good. Conversation was going good. He said, was you here the whole time, in reference to she was late on the show. But beside the point, I think that if you kind of put yourself in their shoes running a podcast, you do want somebody to come to your show and respect how you run things. Now let's go ahead and get to the other situation. Now, following all of this drama, there was some audio and clips that had resurfaced about how Fresh and Fit feel about Black women. And it's crazy because it took Asian Doll to be on this show to be able to recognize the things that's going on, even though this stuff had been going on for a while and a few years now. The certain type of talking points, the certain type of expressions and preferential things that they feel about Black women, not only being a preference, but just how they feel about them personally, has already been surfaced. But I guess when you have somebody big on your platform, or depending on who comes on the platform, is when people tend to go ahead and put that microscope on what's already been existing. But to be honest, and like I said, I don't really care for Fresh and Fit, but just to be honest, the only reason why a lot of men are speaking out about Fresh and Fit not liking Black women is because they don't like Fresh and Fit. Because there are many other content creators that speak about the same things that these two guys speak about, and they don't really take up for Black women in that same sense. So I find a lot of things that the Black community do very hypocritical when they want to highlight things that they really don't care about because they just don't like the person. Now, I want to go ahead and give my spiel on how I feel about the audio and all the things that they put out about us, being that I have the opportunity to do so relating to Fresh and Fit's name. So a few clips have been resurfacing, and No Jumper Podcast actually compiled all the voice clips together on Fresh and Fit and how they feel about Black women and how they don't date Black women, and the feelings that they have towards Black women. And right here it says, Fresh and Fit don't date Black women. Is it racist? Now, I know a lot of people are going to talk about preference, and they're going to say everybody have their preferences. And like I say all the time, preferences are fine. But I think a lot of people are speaking on a level of influence a lot of people have when it comes towards a person's appearance, or when it comes towards a person's skin color or race, as it relates to people that follow them, and how much influence that they have over individuals to treat people differently when it comes to colorism. So let me go ahead and let you listen to a few of these clips that they played on this No Jumper podcast. And you guys I'm gonna put the link down in the description so you can watch the full videos yourself, so you can get an idea of your interpretation of what's going on. But let me go ahead and play this.
Let's check out the audio that Twitter is so offended by, and let's see if we agree that it's offensive. Let's say you're gonna call it.
I never used that one, bro. But hey, man. I mean, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man. Look, we should. Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't Night Riders. No, so I'm good.
What?
Sometimes if they're Redbone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark.
This is the niggas y'all been capping for? These niggas? What?
That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, just keep it real. I don't really date Black girls.
Oh.
No, because like most Black girls.
Fresh just said that?
How to put this, ratchet, and they don't know how to like be reserved. You're like the complete opposite. You are not the stereotype. You are not the stereotype. You are not the same. So I will give you that compliment. What's your Instagram?
They really are shooting themselves in the foot.
Which are traits of feminine women? What?
So yeah,
as I can't stand by that one.
If you've ever met a Black woman before, you can
as
probably
a man
guess
who
that this
loves
is not a very
Black
popular opinion.
And this isn't the first time that I've heard talks of Black women in this manner, not just from Fresh and Fit, but just from a lot of different podcasts, a lot of different celebrities. And a lot of different celebrities. Now you heard that. They said they don't like the Shaniquas. They don't dabble in the dark. They're not night riders. They're not down with the brown. They made a whole spiel about this. And like I said, a lot of these women know what's up. They know what these men talk about, but they still come on the show. They got 500,000 subscribers that obviously agree with the same things they're talking about. And they are the ones that make or break this podcast. You know, one thing we got to realize is we can't control what people say, but if we want to make a change, we can control how much publicity they get when it comes to subscribing, unsubscribing, or participating in this stuff. And that's why I think a lot of stuff is capped. A lot of stuff is capped on social media, because the more negativity that's put out there, the more disrespect that's put out there, the more a lot of these people rise to the top. So accountability is capped. You know, listening to them clips, you already know what it is. Women know what it is as well as men know what it is. But we are responsible for how we treat it and how far the disrespect level goes when it comes to being their best representation for our people. People are in the same mindset that these people are in when they're speaking on this type of level. And when I look at the comment section, I not only see men, I see women as well. Now, earlier, I played the Asian doll clip, and I played the clip on how there were, and I played that clip because, as you can see, there were Black women on the podcast. I don't know if Asian doll did her homework about who Fresh and Fit is, or just looking at the subscribers and just trying to get more out there. But regardless of the reasons and the motives that we participate on these specific type of podcasts, we have to do our homework in what we're participating in. There are a lot of Black women that go on a lot of these shows and they don't necessarily agree with the shows. We have young jocks speaking out about how Black men need to protect Black women, but we are putting ourselves in a danger zone and enemy lines to get disrespected and not protected, laughing with the enemy, partying with the enemy, and now wanting protection. Now, there's different lines of protection, but I'm just talking about this specific incident because I see a lot of Black women going against each other. You have the new pick-me culture out there that started as one thing, but it ends up having a totally new meaning to it. So you have this culture where there are a lot of women going against each other. It shouldn't take for men to hold women accountable. Women should be able to hold women accountable, and we should be able to stick together for a common goal, not only to become better for ourselves, but to stop participating in male content that doesn't relate to your personal beliefs. If you can look at this table, you will see 8, 9, 10 women around the table and only 2 men. And when you look at that, you will see that we are the ones that are giving them their views, their content, their revenue. We are the ones that's supporting that, because without us, there will be no drama. There will be no modernism or feminism to talk about. There will be none of this stuff that we disagree with to prove their points, because we're not participating in it. And we're too slow to realize that we are playing a part of the degrade in our community when it comes to Black women, because we keep participating in letting it happen. So at this point, there's nobody to blame but us, because a person won't do to you what you won't allow them to do to you. In my opinion, I don't even think that Asian doll should have went on the show. In my opinion, I don't think that no Black women should go on the show, because they're not wanted there. The only reason why they're allowed there is because when there are talking points and when there are certain things that's being elaborated, especially towards the Black women, and you have them right there, it further allows them to prove their point in a physical sense and gives them the opportunity to humiliate you publicly. But if you're not there, they can't do that. If you take a stand for something, they have no choice but to change the programming, change how they do things, have a little more respect, watch what they say, because you're not participating in it. It's going to be hard to get people to come on set because of what they believe in. We know that these women don't tolerate this, or we know that these certain women don't like when this is going on. So we're going to change the way we do things. We're going to let them speak a little bit more. We're not going to kick everybody out. Certain things, different things will happen when females start having more respect for themselves. But what I see is that a lot of women so desperately want to be validated and be a part of the clique and get their name out there by any means, to where all the morals that they have at the end of the day goes out the door until they're the target. Once they're the target, then all hell breaks loose. And it shouldn't take for you to be the target to understand what's going on, even just amongst regular everyday women. We got to do better with personal responsibility, because that's really all it boils down to. None of these people out here are going to save us. None of these people out here care about our feelings. Nobody out here cares about what's going on. Everybody's out for self. People going to bring up stuff where it best fits them. And that's just it at the end of the day. You guys, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know what your take is on this. Go ahead and like this video. I'm out.